Remember that rather intense encounter between Obama and Biden the other day? Well, the New York Post just hired a lip reader to tell us what they really said. And let's just say Kamala ain't gonna like it. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve. Come on in. One and all, I am your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times. And we're going to analyze that little private conversation and see what it all means going into November. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let's dive right in. Hey gang, owing back taxes is a huge burden, and unfortunately the pandemic relief is over and the IRS is on its way to make you pay up. They've hired thousands of new agents and sent over 5 million pay-up letters in 2024 alone. But if you're dealing with this mess, I want to connect you with a real, tangible solution. Don't give up your rights or deal with them alone. The IRS is obviously not your friend. Let Tax Network USA, a trusted tax relief firm, save you the time and money you deserve to keep. They've saved Americans over $1 billion in back taxes and have the skills needed to secure you the best possible deal. From a few thousand to $10 million, business to personal taxes, let Tax Network USA restore your good standing so you can strengthen your financial foundation. When your situation is secure, you become the pillar of strength our nation needs. Call 1-800-245-6000 for a private free consultation or visit tnusa.com/Turley. Some rather shocking video came out of the Ethel Kennedy Memorial Service in Washington. Presidents Biden and Obama could be seen exchanging what appeared to be some sharp words with each other, but there was no audio to the visual. So that's when the New York Post came up with the idea of hiring a professional lip reader. Here's what he found. Biden said, "She's not as strong as me." Obama responded with, "I know that's true, but we still have time." "Yeah, we'll get it in time," Biden responded half-heartedly. Now, this exchange is but the latest indicator of the falling out between the Biden White House and Kamala. Now, this exchange is but the latest indicator of the falling out between Biden and Kamala. You may not have noticed this, but Biden is not on the campaign trail for Kamala. Nope, 2.5 weeks away from the big day, Biden is actually out of the freaking country. He's in Europe. He's gone. He's in Europe, gathering with world leaders in a farewell tour. He's gone. He's done. He doesn't appear to want to have anything to do with Kamala. And of course, this is all just par for the course of what he's been doing of late. I mean, how could we forget that wonderful picture of Biden donning a MAGA cap? And of course, since then, he's been holding press conferences conveniently at the exact same moment as Kamala's public appearances so as to prevent TV coverage of her campaign. He's contradicted her stupid feud that she picked with Ron DeSantis. Biden's like, "I think the Florida governor is doing an exceptional job." Biden has frankly been undermining Kamala's campaign every step of the way. And by the way, he's right. What he said there to Obama, he's right. He is a stronger candidate than Kamala. And we've talked about why that is. Who knows? Put that in the chat. Put it in the chat. Why is Biden a stronger candidate than Kamala? If you've been with this channel for a while, you know. Because Kamala is a disaster with what constituency? She is a disaster with the working class. The working class revolt in this nation. It's actually happening all over the world. All right. It's in this nation. The MAGA movement is but a distinctly American expression of this wider revolt happening all over the world. I just was chatting with Jack Posobiec on this, on his show, of the worldwide working class revolt. It all started back in 2016. Particularly with the white working class, where nearly 200 counties in states like Wisconsin and Iowa, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, Ohio. By the way, we'll talk about Minnesota in a moment. You're going to love this. They all voted for the Democrat presidential candidate in every single election for decades. But back in 2016, to Hillary's horror, they suddenly defected and they voted in droves for Trump. In fact, even if Hillary had gotten Obama's level of the black vote, she still would have lost because she lost the white vote, particularly the white working class vote, by that much. But now in 2024, we're starting to see it among the non-white working class. They're making a comparable shift to Trump. Harry Enton of CNN has been talking about this. He's one of a number of analysts pointing out that Trump is getting a record number of non-white support among blacks, Asians, Latino voters, Muslim American, Arab Americans, a level of support we haven't seen in half a century. Now, the key here is that Biden was still at least relatively competitive with this old working class vote, right? Old Scranton Joe still had the support of a lot of traditional working class voters. And I can assure you, that's exactly what he meant about being stronger than Kamala. Remember, this isn't about Kamala winning Tennessee or Oklahoma or Idaho. This election is all about winning states like Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, all states that have an inordinately high working class population. These are the states that the presidential candidate must win in order to win the presidency. And Joe, at least in his mind, proved that he can win those states. And he was at least competitive in particularly the rural areas of Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. He was losing, but at least he was competitive. But Kamala, California Kamala's, our good friend Rich Barris likes to say, she's a working class disaster. Take a look at this. This is a poll of Teamster union members in the key swing states, the battleground states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Again, they all have inordinately high numbers of working class voters. And these are the three states that generally vote to the right, however slightly, of the national polling. Look at the difference between working class support for Biden versus working class support for Harris, both foiled against Trump. The picture could not be more stark. When Biden was on the ticket in Wisconsin, look at this. He was getting 74% support among Teamster union members. Now look at that. Now look at it. It's dropped by more than 30 points. In fact, it's not just that Kamala has dropped 30 points. There's also at the same time an over 40-point swing to Trump. Take a look at Michigan. Biden was polling at 58% to Trump's 32% among Teamsters. Now, Trump is crushing Harris 62 to 35. And take a look at Pennsylvania. Biden and Trump were statistically tied, 43-42. But now with Harris, it's Trump 65 to 31. He's beating her 3-1. We're also seeing it in Minnesota as well. It's one of the reasons why Minnesota is so competitive right now. Biden was running away with it, 46 to 26. But now with Harris, Trump has an even bigger lead than that, 59 to 37. This is why Kamala is now officially weaker than even Hillary Clinton was back in 2016 when she almost lost Minnesota. The latest Minnesota Post poll just came out, has the contest to within, ready for this in Minnesota? The contest is within 4. 4, gang. It was 10 over the summer. It's now Kamala up by only 4 in a state that even voted Democrat in 1984, when every single other state, all 49 others, voted Republican. Kamala is officially weaker than Hillary Clinton was in Minnesota because, again, at least Clinton was still getting a significant number of these Teamsters votes. The working class did indeed largely defect in 2016 over to Trump, but Hillary still had support in the 30s, so she could still at least pad her margins. But Kamala's support, it's dropped into the 20s among the working class vote. That's fatal. The margins that Trump is racking up there are just too big. So to bring this full back circle here, you can be sure that's what Biden was telling Obama. I at least was competitive with that vote. She isn't. And if she's not, then we could kiss goodbye Pennsylvania. We could kiss goodbye Michigan. We could kiss goodbye Wisconsin, Georgia, Arizona, North Carolina, which is exactly what we are seeing both in the polling and the early voting. Georgia and Arizona aren't even going to be close at this point. The Republican turnout is so huge in the early voting. So we'll see how all of this plays out, but it may be that Joe Biden, of all people, come Election Day, is the one who's going to have the last laugh.